listen to, this book is one you keep accessible because you will want to reference it throughout the year. This book of yours is meant to be a companion that guides you through all the holidays, not just the big ones. If we can change how we approach the holidays, our lives will be so much more free and full and headed toward abundant living. This past year, I started keeping my planner on the counter open to the current day. By placing my planner on the counter, I could see it each day. It radically changed my perspective on all the things I was juggling. I felt less overwhelmed and more in control than ever. I approached life with more intention and reached more goals than I ever could have imagined. I was able to say no to more things because I was able to see that I simply could not make them fit. I became a better follower of Jesus, wife, mom, friend, teacher, writer, boss, and neighbor. Don't get me wrong, I still have a long way to go. But this simple step of putting my planner out was a game changer. What if you did the same thing with your holidays? What if instead of waiting to think about them right before they happen or regretting afterwards that you didn't approach them with more intention, you were prepared a month or two in advance? Let's stop living life in survival mode, constantly on the defense, a victim of our schedules and the expectations of others. Instead, let's live sacred, holy, and set apart, with our holidays having less chaos and more Jesus. This book is meant to be listened to in stages. This book is broken up into 3 sections. Part 1, Less Chaos, More Jesus. Listen to this section right away. I know you want to quickly get to the meat of this book, the holiday chapters, where you'll receive practical insights for how you can make your holidays sacred. However, we must deal with our heart and our approach to the holidays first. This section is to help set the stage for what it truly means to have less chaos and more Jesus during the holidays. Make time to listen to these 2 chapters before you begin the holiday chapters. Before we get busy doing, I want to remind you about the story of Mary and Martha in Luke 10. I think sometimes Martha gets a bad rap for her interaction with Jesus inside her home. Oftentimes, she's portrayed as this frantic, bitter, workaholic woman, and the truth is, we just don't know that about her character. Sometimes I wonder if she was just like you and me, simply wanting to serve others in Jesus. Like her, we want to create this culture and way of life that brings God glory and others lots of joy. However, and this is a big however, we get lost in our doing, and we just need to stop. Mary stopped and was found simply sitting at Jesus' feet, listening to what he had to say. Then we learn the real problem with Martha wasn't that she was serving, but that she was distracted in her serving. Verse 40. Jesus replied in verses 41 through 42, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. In part 1, we will focus on the good portion before we focus on the task of carrying things out. Obviously, Martha had to work or no one would eat. The problem wasn't in her working, it was in being so distracted that she missed the good portion. Let's not miss it by being so distracted in our attempts to make holidays sacred. Let's first sit, listen, and learn. Then we will set the table and make the meal, but let's not be distracted by those first. Part 2, Holidays. Listen to these chapters 30 to 60 days before each holiday. You can certainly listen to Part 2 right away, but 30 to 60 days prior to each holiday, refer back to this section in order to receive the most continual benefit. Here you will find the following in each chapter. Encouragement in living sacred during this holiday. A little historical culture and religious context. You'll write your own personal mission statement or hope for that holiday. Ideas for all women to live sacred during each holiday. Ideas for kiddos in our lives to live sacred. Note, this isn't just for moms. This book is for every type of person, single, married, with kids, or otherwise, not just parents. Journaling instructions for you to record what's worked and what hasn't worked. Journaling instructions for you to record any ideas you could try in the future. Go ahead and schedule your alerts on your calendar to prepare for each holiday. Set them as an annual reoccurring event. If you aren't able to make the appointment to plan, then commit to reschedule it for a better time. Since you are scheduling your holiday prep time a year or more in advance, you will have to make adjustments. However, a simple reminder will increase the chances that you will make the time to sit down. Write out the following list and check them off after you've put this session on your